Have you ever wondered why things didn't go as planned? Why that relationship slipped through your fingers? Or why that dream job just seemed to vanish into thin air? What if all of it had a purpose beyond your understanding? What if God knew exactly what He was doing? Sometimes life feels like an endless series of doors that slam shut. You get so close to what you want, and then suddenly it's gone. The frustration, the anger, the why me, they start to consume you. But stop for a moment. Breathe. Imagine this: every door that closes, every setback, every unexpected turn is not a punishment, not a curse, but a gentle, unseen hand guiding you towards something far greater than you can imagine. What if, instead of something going wrong, it's actually going right? Imagine you're a child holding onto a small, old toy, refusing to let it go, while a loving parent stands in front of you, offering something far more beautiful, something new and fulfilling. That parent sees the bigger picture. They see what you could have if you'd only release what you're clutching so tightly. Could it be that you're holding on to something in life that no longer serves you? God knows what is best for you, even when you don't. When that door closes, don't cling to it. Instead, ask yourself, what is God trying to give me? What does He want me to see? Sometimes our greatest disappointments are merely detours designed to bring us closer to our true purpose. The job you lost, the relationship that didn't last. These aren't punishments or failures. They're divine interventions, gentle redirections to steer you back to your path. This is grace. When we cling to our plans and expectations, we create a wall around our hearts. We want control, certainty, a guarantee that everything will go according to plan. But God doesn't operate within the confines of our limited understanding. God sees the whole tapestry while we're focused on a single thread. What you see as a loss, He sees as protection. What you see as failure, He sees as growth. What you see as confusion, He sees as preparation. When we trust in God's timing, we open ourselves to His wisdom, His guidance, His plan. We stop demanding that life unfolds our way, and instead surrender to the way it was meant to unfold. Ask yourself, am I resisting something God is asking me to release? Am I clinging to a life that no longer serves my highest good? Every day we're presented with opportunities to let go and trust that there is something greater beyond our comprehension, to have faith in the process, even when the path isn't clear. Because the truth is, God knows what is best for you. He sees you. He hears you. And He's moving mountains in ways you can't yet see. So let go of the need to understand everything. Release the weight of control. And trust that what awaits you is exactly what your soul has been longing for. Let your heart be still and open, and let your faith guide you. God knows what is best for you beyond the limits of your understanding. And when you trust in that, you'll see that each closed door, each unexpected turn, is not a step backward, but a leap forward into the life you were meant to live. We've all experienced those painful moments when a door in our life suddenly slams shut. A relationship we thought was forever falls apart. A job opportunity we were counting on disappears, or a carefully laid plan unravels before our eyes. In that instant, It's so easy to feel defeated, rejected, and utterly lost. It can feel as if life itself has turned against us, leaving us questioning, why did this happen to me? But what if that closed door wasn't a rejection at all? What if it was a gentle yet firm nudge from the universe, or even from God, moving you away from something that wasn't meant for you? What if this apparent setback was actually a setup for something far more meaningful, something that aligns better with your true purpose and potential? It's a challenging idea to accept, especially when we feel the sting of disappointment. We tend to label closed doors as failures because, in our minds, achieving our specific goals equates to success. We have this internalized roadmap of what life is supposed to look like, so when things go off track, we assume something has gone wrong. But here's a radical, eye-opening truth: not every door is meant to open. In fact, some doors must stay closed to protect us or to guide us down paths we'd never have chosen on our own. This isn't rejection, it's divine redirection. Imagine this: you're standing in front of a locked door, pushing against it with all your might. You're so focused on getting through this door, so sure that this is where you're meant to be, that you don't notice the other doors quietly opening all around you. In this scenario, your intense focus on one way forward blinds you to other opportunities that could lead to even greater happiness, growth, and fulfillment. That locked door is a blessing in disguise, though it may not feel like one. It's God's way of gently saying, "This isn't for you. Look around, and you'll find the door that is." Think about a time when you wanted something so badly, only to realize later that it wasn't what you truly needed. Maybe you wanted a particular job, convinced it was the answer to all your problems. But as time passed, you found yourself in a different job, one that you never could have anticipated, yet it provided you with opportunities, friendships, and growth you hadn't even dreamed of. In hindsight, you can see how being redirected led you to a better place. When we encounter closed doors, it's natural to ask, why is this happening? But a more empowering question might be, what is God trying to show me? Or what might be waiting for me around the corner? Shifting your mindset from resistance to openness can turn an experience of loss into one of exploration. This doesn't mean the pain disappears overnight, but it does mean you'll be able to view each setback through a lens of curiosity and faith, believing that there is a purpose behind it all. Sometimes a closed door is simply God's way of protecting you from something that could hinder your growth or bring you harm. It may even be saving you from a situation that would have limited your potential. Remember that God sees a bigger picture than we do. Where we see only one small piece, He sees the entire tapestry. He knows where each piece belongs, how each twist and turn connects to the next. When a door closes, it may be because that path would lead you away from the wholeness He envisions for you. To trust in divine redirection is to understand that you are always being guided even when you don't feel it. It's surrendering the illusion of control and placing your faith in something greater. By embracing closed doors as opportunities to recalibrate and refocus, you allow yourself to walk with grace instead of resistance. You open yourself to possibilities you may have overlooked in your quest to control every outcome. Life will always have its share of closed doors and disappointments, but each one of these moments invites us to pause and reflect. When something doesn't work out, ask yourself, what else might be possible? What other doors could open if I release this attachment? Allow the wisdom of God's timing and guidance to work within you, knowing that what is truly meant for you cannot be taken away. Closed doors are not dead ends, they are divine signs pointing you toward new paths, deeper growth, and an unshakable trust in a plan that's greater than your own. So the next time a door closes, rather than seeing it as a failure, recognize it as part of the unfolding story of your life. Let it serve as a reminder that you are not abandoned, but guided. You are not denied, but protected. And you are never rejected, you are simply being redirected toward what's best for you. Imagine your life as a vast, intricate puzzle, a beautiful masterpiece designed just for you. Right now, you may only see a handful of scattered pieces, pieces that might not make any sense. You have a few pieces here and there, a glimpse of the colors and shapes, but the complete picture remains hidden. It's natural to feel frustration, confusion, or even hopelessness when you can't yet see how it all fits together. Every struggle you face, every moment of heartbreak, every setback or challenge is one of those pieces, carefully placed within this larger puzzle. But these individual pieces aren't random, nor are they meaningless obstacles. They're essential parts of the greater picture. Just because you don't yet see the whole doesn't mean there's no purpose. Life's challenges often don't make sense in the moment. Losing a job, facing a health crisis, going through a breakup, feeling alone, these are pieces that can look dark and painful. In those times, it's easy to ask, why is this happening to me? Or what did I do wrong? But what if those difficult experiences weren't just isolated moments of suffering? What if they were necessary, intentionally placed pieces in the puzzle of your life, meant to shape and refine you? When you're working on a real puzzle, some pieces seem confusing and out of place. You may hold one up, turn it around and wonder, where could this possibly fit? The color doesn't match anything else, and the shape is unfamiliar. But when the puzzle is complete, that strange piece, the one that seemed like it didn't belong, suddenly makes perfect sense. It adds to the beauty of the whole picture. The same is true for your struggles. They are essential, even if they seem senseless or painful at first. Imagine that these challenges, these so-called mistakes and setbacks, are the very things preparing you for something more. They build resilience, deepen compassion, and offer wisdom. They refine you, shaping your character, teaching you lessons you couldn't learn in any other way. Through these experiences, you gain insight and strength that enable you to understand life's depth and purpose more profoundly. Letting go of the need to understand every piece in the moment takes faith and trust. It's the choice to say, I may not understand this now, but I believe there's a greater purpose unfolding. Releasing control doesn't mean giving up, it means surrendering to a higher wisdom, recognizing that there is a greater force at work in your life that sees the complete picture when you can't. Life's mysteries often unfold in ways that surprise us. What seemed like a closed door opens a new path. What felt like heartbreak leads to inner healing. What appeared to be a setback. The past often feels like a safe, familiar place. It's known, comfortable, and predictable. Even if it wasn't perfect, it's a place we understand. Yet when we cling to the past, we unknowingly chain ourselves to experiences, ideas, and emotions that no longer serve us. Imagine gripping onto old, worn-out pieces of life, a relationship that didn't work out, a job that wasn't fulfilling, or a mistake that's long since passed, while God is standing right in front of you, arms open, holding something fresh, new, and life-giving. Letting go of the past can feel daunting because it means stepping into the unknown, where certainty is absent. We worry that by releasing what we once held dear, we might lose a piece of ourselves. But here's the truth: holding on to those old pieces is keeping you stuck in a cycle that prevents growth and healing. The blessings waiting for you in the present moment remain out of reach, simply because your hands are too full with what you refuse to release. Imagine that your heart is like a garden. In order to plant new seeds and welcome fresh growth, the old weeds and dead plants must first be cleared out. If we don't tend to this, the garden becomes overrun, stifling new life. In the same way, if your heart is full of yesterday's regrets, past hurts, or old dreams that no longer align with who you're becoming, there's no space for the gifts, opportunities, and people that are meant to enrich your life today. God often speaks to us in subtle whispers, nudging us to release the things we no longer need. Yet we resist, out of fear that what lies ahead may not measure up to what we've left behind. We cling to relationships that have outgrown us, job roles that don't fulfill us, and past versions of ourselves that no longer reflect who we are. This attachment not only hinders our progress, but blocks us from receiving the blessings right in front of us. Consider this: by holding on to what is familiar but outdated, we're actually rejecting what God has prepared for us in the present. We're saying no to growth, healing, and the countless possibilities that the present offers. The beauty, joy, and fulfillment that come with being truly alive in this moment are sacrificed when we choose to live in the shadow of what's already happened. Letting go doesn't mean you're disregarding the past or dishonoring its lessons. It simply means you're making space for something new, something better suited to who you are now. Letting go acknowledges that you've changed, that you've learned, and that you're ready to embrace life as it unfolds today. Holding on to the past creates blind spots. When you're so focused on what was, you miss out on what is. The laughter of a friend, the beauty of a new opportunity, or the simple peace of a quiet moment, these gifts pass unnoticed when your mind is wrapped up in yesterday. But when you loosen your grip on the past, you're free to see these blessings and feel the fullness of life in the present. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? Maybe it's a long-standing resentment, an outdated self-image, or a dream that no longer aligns with your heart. Whatever it is, know that God is ready to fill that space with something new, something that matches the person you're becoming. Letting go requires faith that by releasing what's behind you, you open yourself to what's truly meant for you. It's trusting that there is something beautiful waiting to be received. Every time you choose to release a piece of the past, you make room for love, for peace, for joy, and for all the blessings of the present. Don't let the fear of the unknown keep you chained to what's already gone. Release it with grace, honor its lessons, and open your heart to what's here now. God's gifts are waiting for you in this moment. To embrace them, you only have to open your hands. In a world that glorifies control, independence, and the constant striving for certainty, surrender is often misunderstood. Society teaches us that strength means having it all figured out, that power comes from planning every step, and that the mark of success is the ability to control our destiny. We're told to anticipate every challenge, manage every risk, and be masters of our fate. But what if true strength isn't found in control, but in surrender? Control is rooted in fear of the unknown, of loss, of failure. We cling to our plans, micromanage our lives, and struggle to shape each moment because letting go feels like weakness. But real power, real peace, comes from releasing that need for control and placing trust in something greater than ourselves. True strength is the courage to say, I don't have to know every outcome. I don't have to understand everything now. I trust that I'm being guided. Imagine holding tightly to a rope with your hands clenched so hard that it hurts. The harder you grip, the more strain you feel, yet you tell yourself that letting go would mean losing control, losing security. This is how many of us live, constantly trying to manage every detail, every possibility, only to find ourselves exhausted and anxious. But what if letting go didn't mean losing? What if surrendering actually allowed something better to take place? Surrender is not about giving up on life or becoming passive. It's about having faith that there is a divine wisdom guiding you, one that sees far beyond what you can see. It's trusting that you are exactly where you need to be, that each experience, even the difficult ones, are part of a larger picture crafted for your growth and fulfillment. Surrendering to this truth requires immense courage and strength, more so than clinging to control. Consider this: when you let go of the need to control everything, you create space for peace, clarity, and grace. You no longer feel pressured to solve every problem immediately or understand every twist and turn. Instead, you cultivate a deep, unshakable trust that life is unfolding as it should. Real strength is found in releasing fear and embracing faith, in knowing that even if you can't see the next step, you are being led. In surrender, you open yourself to the unexpected blessings that control would have limited. When you release the need to manipulate every outcome, you make room for possibilities that are far greater than what you could have planned. Think of all the beautiful things that came into your life not because you planned them, but because you allowed them. Surrender is the gateway to these unanticipated gifts, the ones that come when we let go and trust. Sometimes, surrender requires us to accept things we cannot change. It's not always easy, especially when we face loss, heartbreak, or setbacks. Yet in those moments, surrender brings a strength that control could never provide. It allows us to move forward, to heal, and to grow in ways that would have been impossible if we were still clinging to how things should be. Trusting that we are exactly where we need to be doesn't mean life will always be easy. It means that we acknowledge a greater wisdom at work, one that is guiding us toward our highest good, even through the challenges. When you surrender to this truth, you cultivate resilience, a calmness that doesn't waver with every new situation. You realize that your worth, your purpose, and your peace do not depend on external outcomes. Society may teach us to chase control, but the Spirit calls us to trust. Real strength lies in being able to release, to step back, and to say, I don't have all the answers, but I trust that I am being guided. It's in surrendering that we find a peace that no amount of planning or control could ever bring. So let go of the rope. Release the need to direct every aspect of your life. Surrender to the divine plan unfolding before you. You may not see it yet, but you are being led towards something better, something perfectly aligned with who you are meant to be. It's hard to believe, but some of life's greatest opportunities for growth and transformation often come disguised as loss. We invest so much of ourselves in the people, plans, and dreams we hold dear that we convince ourselves we couldn't live without them. Yet sometimes those very things are precisely what's holding us back from reaching our fullest potential. When these things fall away, we're left with a profound emptiness, but also an opportunity for growth and self-discovery like we've never known. Losing something important to us, whether a relationship, a career, a home, or a dream, can feel like an end. The shock and pain of that loss make us feel as though we've been abandoned, left without direction, or worse, without purpose. In these moments, it's only natural to question why this is happening, to grieve the life we once envisioned. But what if this loss wasn't meant to break us, but to help us shed the layers that no longer serve us? Imagine the things we cling to as branches of a tree. Some branches are healthy and help us grow, while others are weak, cracked, and hollow, draining our energy instead of strengthening us. These branches may feel secure, but they're not supporting our growth. Loss is like pruning. It's painful but necessary, a way for life to make space for new branches, healthier branches, to flourish in our lives. Without this space, we could never grow into the person we are truly meant to be. When something you value falls away, there's a period of mourning, yes, but if you look closely, you'll also find a window of possibility. Loss creates an openness, a blank space that you can fill with new ideas, new connections, new dreams, and a deeper understanding of who you are. The things we thought we needed for happiness may have actually limited us, keeping us in patterns that no longer align with our truest self. Loss forces us to reevaluate, to let go of what was, and to embrace the possibilities of what could be. Think of a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. Before it can fly, it has to shed its old form entirely. It must let go of the cocoon that once kept it safe, even though it doesn't yet know what lies beyond. Similarly, we must shed the parts of ourselves and our lives that we've outgrown. Loss, as painful as it is, invites us to leave behind these old, confining shells and step into a new version of ourselves. It's not an end, but a beginning, the start of a chapter where you are stronger, wiser, and freer. So often we think of loss as a punishment, a sign that we've done something wrong. But what if it's not a punishment at all? What if loss is actually an invitation to a more fulfilling life, to a chapter that's waiting to bring us more joy, peace, and purpose than we could have ever imagined? When you see loss this way, it shifts from something to be feared to something to be honored as part of your journey. Allow yourself to grieve, but also allow yourself to hope. Losing something important doesn't mean losing everything. In fact, it may be the doorway to finding something far more meaningful and aligned with who you're becoming. Trust that life is making room for something that's meant for you, something that could only come into your life once you let go of what's no longer needed. Every ending, every loss, holds the seed of a new beginning. Your greatest growth, your deepest joy, and your truest self are often waiting on the other side of letting go. Embrace loss as a teacher, an opportunity to learn, evolve, and move closer to the life that's waiting for you. Instead of seeing loss as the end, see it as the beginning of a new, more fulfilling chapter, a chapter written just for you.